Hey guys, it's Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. And we want to reach out to all the fans out there who have supported our show to say thank you. Thank you for making 2021 one of our best years. And one of our best years was because of Anchor. Anchor, the way that you can have your voice heard. You can be just like us. Record your own podcast. Use the Anchor tools to edit your podcast. Use it on a phone. Use it on your computer. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all with Anchor, they're totally free. So be just like Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're looking together for a great 2022. We've got huge guests coming on board. Oh, yeah. You probably wonder why Jimmy's not here right now. Well, he's prepping for one of the best interviews we're about to have, and we're going to surprise someone with. So hang aboard with us, and don't forget, be like us and use Anchor.
Method of business would persist until the formation of the National Wrestling Alliance in 1948. The NWA as a central governing body, with its singular, undisputed world champion, would be absolute and undeniable. This control, combined with the expansion of the interstate highway system, and the inevitable popularity and availability of regional television, would usher in an era of wrestling that was defined by what would come to be known as the territory system. The territory system would dominate wrestling for nearly 4 decades, while the borders, authority, popularity, and obedience of individual NWA territories was in a near constant state of flux. To this day, the impact and influence of these territories is still felt. Each territory had its own signature promoter and star. While it is impossible to cram these characteristics into a static, concrete map, we are damn sure going to try anyway.
So open up your eyes way before it gets too late. Now one man, there's no way you can hit the streetlights running, don't give a damn. A simple explanation that you'll never find. Sinners never sacrifice. We never leave love alone. Is hate really worth the price? Look at what we've done. Never care for compromise. Always threatening someone's life, and it feels like the end of the world.
All right, welcome. It's Friday, and that means it's This Week in Wrestling with hosts Mike Monty and the incomparable Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, this week, brother.
Yeah. What do we
So, listen, we're all about honesty. Kudos. AEW Dynamite last night, Blood and Guts. 1.2 million
Nice job.
viewers.
Nice job. I mean, they were really starting to sink, and they came right back with that one. Good job.
Blood and Guts took up a whole second hour of AEW Dynamite and delivered for Tony Khan in the ratings. WrestleNomics released the numbers last night, and Dynamite came in with an average viewership of 1.2 million viewers. That's 17% viewership. That is up. #1 on cable. Dynamite saw its highest total viewership since March 23rd and its highest 18 to 49 number since the beginning of the month.
There you go.
The program also is considerably in comparison to last year. In 6/3/2021, episode of Dynamite had an average of 883
Right.
for the same type of show.
Right.
But they were against the NBA
Up
players.
320,000. Very nice.
So,
Hey, good job. Good job. They put on a good show, and people were into it.
I heard Mark Henry saying last week, after their bad ratings last week, that AEW is the most watched wrestling show. It beats every show, including the WWE, in the most important demographic of 18 to 49.
Ratings are ratings. I don't agree. Ratings are ratings. I don't agree. If you have 100 people that like you, and then you pull some fancy pants bullshit that, well, I've got the demographic that 27 of them are from this particular. Get out of here.
Well, let me ask you.
Numbers are numbers.
When you look at demographics.
And it sounds like to me he's not the world's strongest man. He's the world's most delusional man.
Well, he's also on their payroll. We all know that.
I guess that explains that.
But 18 to 49, why is that the key demographic? Right? Okay. Young male. Also, possible parent in the middle, right? And then after that, I guess, I don't know why 50 to 65 wouldn't be.
Right. I think it's embarrassing that wrestling has cornered itself this way. You're going to tell me with a straight face, and I know you won't, you're going to tell me with a straight face that the Hulk Hogan toys that were being sold in the 80s were being sold predominantly to 18 to 49-year-olds? Nonsense! Those were being sold to young kids!
The idea the 18 to 49s are buying the toys?
They may be, but again, to hammer it home, back in the 80s and in the early 90s with the cartoon approach in some ways, you really think that the 10 to 12-year-olds weren't asking for these toys by the kabillions?
Right.
What are we doing cornering ourselves here? I don't agree with that.
I also think it's throw shit against the wall, expect people to believe it,
of
right?
course.
I mean, I agree with you. Ratings are ratings.
Ratings.
But a 1.2.
That's good. For today.
Doing a little damage.
They did well for today. A little damage for what, though? Again, for 1 week. Let's see what happens next week when it dips back down to 890 or 930 or whatever. The ratings are okay for what they're doing.
Is Cesaro, is he a needle mover?
I was afraid you were going to make me laugh, and I'm going to try not to. No, he's not a needle mover. The card overall was
appearance
cool.
by Cesaro.
Right.
1.2.
Well, I don't agree that he's the reason. That's absolutely absurd.
So we saw Jericho Appreciation Society versus Blackpool Combat Club, Blood and Guts. Christian Cage obviously trying to become this major heel.
Right.
Jade Cargill versus Layla Gray.
Or Lila.
And Ethan Page versus Orange Cassidy. Okay, so first match was Orange Cassidy defeated Ethan Page. Thoughts?
Orange Cassidy. I don't have too many thoughts on Orange Cassidy that I haven't already expressed already. Orange Cassidy is pinned into what he does. And I remember when he was getting totally over, I thought to myself, are they going to put that belt on a guy who doesn't take his hands out of his pockets? Well, thank God they haven't done that. He's a specialist. This is his role. And for whatever you do, just make sure that him and his friends hug each other at the end. We need a close-up. And then a pan out. We're all happy.
Have we seen the end of Orange Cassidy?
No, not the end. I mean, Orange Cassidy, quite honestly, I could see Vince McMahon someday if Orange left me. I could use him as a joke for a few months. Can't you see Vince doing it? I can see Vince doing it.
Dude,
I tell you what.
I don't think I'd be happy with
I wouldn't be happy either, but trust me, I think you'd be happy about how Vince books them.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
Here he comes with his hands in his pockets, and somebody could shellacks him in 2 seconds. I can see that happening.
Christian Cage received immense heat from his comments last week. Christian Cage was asked to apologize by upper management, and according to him, he apologized to everybody else in the Jungle Boys family that wasn't dead except his mom.
Right. Lame.
Luchasaurus, dressed in all black, is apparently aligned and brainwashed by Christian Cage.
How did you take that?
And
you love your Luchasaurus.
I was very disappointed.
You were disappointed that Luchasaurus went bad?
Yeah.
This is the most flavorful Luchasaurus has ever been. I thought it was great.
Did you really?
I love that he's a bad guy. He's an unhinged monster now. Yeah. That's fantastic.
It's funny you brought up Christian Cage, about people commenting on our social media pages.
Right, that Christian's suddenly better than Edge.
Yes.
Holy shit, what are you smoking?
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, what are you smoking? Get out of here. Is he better wrestler in the ring? Stop insulting Edge. Seriously, stop. Christian Cage is awesome in the ring. He's very solid. But you're not going to tell me he's got the explosiveness or the energy or the ability to reel in people the same way Edge does? What are you talking about? Edge is a better wrestler than Christian Cage.
How about Mike?
Not buying it. Mike skills? Edge is great on the mic. Did I miss something? You cannot be the star. You can't be 11-time world champion of Vince's company and not know how to talk. Edge is an amazing talker. Give me a break.
So why the feedback? People saying Christian Cage was better. What do you think?
They're just the loud, noisy. Here comes the word you hate. They're just the loud, noisy marks who love AEW and hate Vince McMahon, and no matter what he does is wrong. And Christian Cage is fantastic. Okay, put your hopes and dreams on a 44-year-old top villain in your company. That should last about a year. what?
Danhausen, FTR defeated the Acclaimed and the Gun Club.
I thought so much of this that I asked Spidey to not even take a picture up for us for this show. Because Danhausen is whatever.
You really don't like Danhausen.
Yeah, well, I don't like his brand of potato chip. That's the problem. You know, he's not carrying Utz to the ring. And if you don't give me Utz potato chips, I'm with Boomer Esiason. Fuck off.
You're out.
That's it. You're done. You know.
But you love FTR.
I love FTR. FTR's amazing. They win every belt under the
So
sun.
let me ask you a question. You brought
They're
up
the champions of everything except for Vince's company.
You wish they didn't leave the WWE.
I do. I love FTR. I am a purist.
Why do you think the WWE let him go?
Because FTR obviously was dissatisfied. This is more. I'm sure. Look, Vince. I told you this off during the week. Vince put the title on them 3 times. I think Vince gave them an awesome debut. I was there when the revival came to the WWE. I was at the Coliseum that night. I was psyched. So was the board man. We were psyched. It didn't work out because they didn't want to accept Vince's vision. And we talked about this before. If you don't accept Vince's vision, you run a risk. You can go to another company, get paid less, and murder yourself. I love how the Marks have no problem volunteering these guys. Not only do they tell them it's okay to take less money, come to the company I love and kill yourself. Kill yourself because you're here to perform for me. That is the most selfish, self-absorbed, in my opinion. You really care about their bodies? Then don't ask them to go to AEW. If you really care about their bodies and their health. Because Vince McMahon is not going to physically put them through what your wonderful, loving, all-encompassing, pure wrestling company does.
Well done.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Jade Cargill defeated Layla. What's it, Layla Girl?
Layla? Like the Clapton song, maybe, or is it Lila?
Jade Cargill, in my opinion,
it leaves such an impression we don't even know.
She is the worst wrestler in the history of wrestling.
What a shame, because what a good look.
Looks great.
Fantastic.
Looks great.
How about the mic? What does Mike say?
Terrible.
Mike?
Terrible.
Really?
Terrible.
Yeah. Better than Edge?
Better than Edge, yeah. Well, according to the AEW people, yeah, why not?
What a physique, though.
Jade Cargill was tried out for the WWE. Clearly.
What happened?
She's got everything the WWE needs. She looks it.
She looks it for sure.
No mic skills.
Uh-oh.
Can't wrestle.
Do you think there'll ever be a female manager? A manager for the women? Why has this not happened yet? And by the way, they're listening and they're going to do this within a month.
That's a great comment.
They're not. They've never done it. There should be.
Well,
now Charlotte doesn't need nobody to speak for her. Obviously.
Would you say that? No, I think Guerrero's wife.
Wasn't she fantastic? No, what I mean to manage the women.
She manages Nia Rose, doesn't she? I think, right?
Oh, does she? Okay, well, that's not really affecting me.
I mean, I'm not trying. Well, I understand.
I want someone
who comes in. It was so powerful, you forgot.
Like, for example, Asuka. Why can't you give Asuka a manager? Turn her heel, give her a nasty manager? What would be so wrong with that?
Instead of letting Paige go, he could have been. But they tried Paige as a manager, though.
Yeah, Paige. I don't know. She's pretty good behind the scenes, but I'm not so sure on the mic.
Blackpool Combat Club wins AEW Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I don't know.
Claudio made his first.
You mean Cesaro?
Dynamite? Cesaro Claudio made his Dynamite.
Casserole, whatever his last name is.
Right.
I got you. Hey, it was a great debut. I mean, the fans went absolutely batshit. Oh, look, he's swinging somebody. Yay. Yeah, bring back the WWE moves that made you famous. It's another retread. Here we go again. Oh, we got Cesaro. Who's next? Who's that? Zeb Coulter. Might as well bring him
Coulter.
Might as well, unless he's busy doing something like canceling appointments. You could always bring in Zeb Coulter.
All right, well, speak a little WWE. The Raw ratings fall despite Cena's return.
Oh, no.
But still number one. It was reported 1.9 million viewers.
Okay.
1 hour, 2 million, 2 hour 2, and then 1.8 at hour 3.
Right.
That's overall viewership figured included 700,000 in the key demographic of 18 to 49 for 1.9. Despite they still finished number one. Okay.
Oddly enough, the 700,000 in the key demographic seems to be the difference between the 1.2 for AEW and 1.9 for Vince. Very interesting.
That is a good. Wow, that's good math.
Yeah, well, I'm the son of a guy who was the accounting for the New York Knicks, so I better know the basics.
Wow.
You know, there you go.
All right, we'll finish up the show with wrestling rumors. The WWE trying to mend the fences with Sasha Banks. You believe any of that?
No. Why would they? I bet you it's the other way around. Sasha's probably thinking, oh, crap, I wasn't able to get all the offers I thought I was going to get. And AEW wants me to murder myself for half the pay. I ain't doing it.
Well,
hello, Vince.
I think we spoke
I
earlier.
love you,
that
Vince. I didn't mean to walk out.
If there was a free agent, that's the one to get for them.
Right.
But who's she wrestling? You don't have women wrestlers
Right.
that could even...
Right. And don't you find it interesting that even though she is a free agent, Tony Khan goes running to, I love you, Cesaro. This is who he signs?
So let me ask you
Right.
this.
Whatever.
Thunder Rosa.
Good luck.
They're a champion. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about her as a wrestler?
She brings zero out of me, which is to me is very condemning.
She did bring something out of me in NWA though, which is kind of odd.
Right.
Liked her in NWA, can't stand her in
Right.
AEW.
Hey, presentation is everything, baby. Isn't it? At the end of the day, Hulk Hogan AWA was nothing compared to Hulk Hogan WWE.
Right.
It is
So you
what
think
it
the
is.
presentation of Thunder Rosa in NWA was better than the Thunder Rosa AEW?
Somehow it seemed to fit better.
For
Isn't
me,
that
it did.
weird?
I agree.
Isn't
I
that
agree.
weird?
It is.
And for example, look at our buddy Mr. Knox. I enjoy Mr. Knox in NWA.
Oh, absolutely.
Mike Knox is awesome, especially when he's slamming Fatso through a table.
I agree.
He's fantastic.
I agree.
So it all is on the presentation and the atmosphere of the presentation. It happens to work there.
So, give me what you think AEW will draw next week on their cable show.
They'll
on
drop.
Wednesday.
It'll be a
They
drop.
fall under $1 million?
They could. I won't say for sure, but I would think that they probably it'd be like a 972.
If they hang around the millions, there's a little bit of
They're
challenge
doing a
going
good
on.
job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are doing a good job. I'm not saying that, but I do think it'll drop. I think that it was really higher up because of it was a really good card, and that's what those fans live for.
Well, these are pay-per-view cards.
They're,
that they're throwing
exactly.
on
They're
regular
airing
television.
on regular
Yeah.
television, right? I mean, you know, if next week Vince decides he wants Lesnar versus Reigns on SmackDown, guess what?
Yeah, right.
2.7. Oh my God, how did it happen?
Right.
Unbelievable.
Really good point.
So there you go.
Well, everybody, enjoy SmackDown.
Yeah.
And enjoy, what is that called? Rampage.
Yeah.
And
Rampage. Enjoy
your 4th of July. God bless. Enjoy yourself, Pharaoh.
Absolutely. Hey, our ratings are better than Rampage, by the way, but that's us.
That's us.
You've been watching This Week in Wrestling, and until next week in wrestling, later.